My name is Rob Leclerc. My company is Fundiverse. Fundiverse is trying to solve a problem by helping small and medium-sized businesses connect with stakeholders and also to raise capital. In effect, we're looking to become the Facebook of companies. How you doing, gentlemen?
Nikhil.
Rob Leclerc. Nice to meet you, Rob. Nice to meet you,
Rob.
So Fundiverse is basically looking to create a Facebook for companies. And we want to build on the Jobs Act. And so I'd like to kind of think about this as sort of crowdfunding 2.0. $1 trillion is raised annually by companies every year in America. Companies need a way to connect. The fact is that there are investors out there that we can connect with, but we just have this problem of finding them. And so in the same way that individuals really have gravitated to online social profiles, we think that there's a market for companies to also sort of take advantage of this kind of organization.
So are you a crowdfunding site first, or are you initially a directory?
We're solving the problem of helping companies raise capital. We're really helping companies connect with stakeholders and potential investors. So by solving the one, we end up solving the other.
Cool.
We use an infographic-rich format to present the data for your company and present you in a positive, standardized way for all of your stakeholders.
Who's more important, the consumers that are investing in this kind of product for the first time, or
the investors? We need to take care of the investors.
What verticals are you going with, and what have you chosen and why?
We have a flagship vertical followed by another.
What does a flagship vertical mean?
Basically the first one that
So which is it?
So this is Exploration Funder. So this is for natural resource.
Natural gas, coal, what kind?
Yeah, natural gas.
So what you're saying is now my mom can invest in a natural gas company.
Yeah, and they could before, but they would have to do it through some sort of backroom, boiler room deals in a sense.
Most consumers, they can understand hardware, tech, things like that, consumables. Natural gas exploration and things like that are not very well understood. How do you think you'll get a lot of consumer demand to invest in it?
The general mining space and natural resource space has had a lot of difficulty connecting with the investment community. And so by being on an online platform, the way you need to connect with the investment community is really bringing the investor to your project and really putting skin on them.
How many projects have been successfully completed?
We have 3 companies listed right now. 2 of the companies we're basically looking to do the financings with. We want a company to have their profile on our site before they ever fund, during the funding, and after the funding. And this is part of this Facebook for companies.
How much capital do they need?
The one that we're really focusing on right now, they're raising $1 million, but we've been talking to some natural resource companies that they need to raise $600 million.
Why do you do this every day?
Well, one, I love tech and I love being an entrepreneur, and so I love solving
why do you
problems.
love this?
So this in particular, I find it frustrating that the little guy doesn't get a voice. The reason corporate America is the way it is right now is because they have a monopoly on the access to capital, and we're going to change that.
Are you a developer?
I have a master's in computer science. I coded our kernel, but I've now handed that off to somebody else.
I think we're.
Yeah, I think that's great.
Thanks, guys. I really appreciate it. Super good to meet you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot.
I really like that he's a developer and actually built the site himself.
Yeah.
He's clearly been doing it very, very, very quickly, which is important. I don't know if there's any kind of appetite for for that kind of product among investors.
And the other thing that I was just wondering was how he positioned it as a Facebook for companies.
Right.
Yet it's a crowdfunding, and I think he has to spend a little bit of time rethinking
focusing and clarifying how he explains his company.
Part of it was addressing who was important on the side of the table. So we have investors on the one side and companies on the other side, and I think they wanted to see certainly the importance of taking care of the investment community.
He said it was more about the investors than the companies, yet it sounds like he's actually addressing the companies first with the profiles.
Right.
Steve and Nikhil are both really smart guys. They ask some really great questions. Very comfortable process, very approachable, very engaged.